Duke Johnson, and some teams are interested. Let's take a look at what we're looking at, or what the Browns are looking at. So this is what has been gleaned by running backs. 2010, the Bills trade Marshawn Lynch to the Seahawks. They get a 2011 4th-round pick and a 2012 5th-round pick. That doesn't seem like a lot, does it? That paid off.
For a more accomplished running back than Duke
But
Johnson.
how about this one? The Browns trade Trent Richardson to the Colts, and they get the 2014 1st-round pick. That was the best get by any team for a running back.
That was Chuck Pagano being famously quoted calling Trent Richardson a rolling ball of butcher knives.
2017, the Dolphins trade Jay Ajayi to the Eagles. I didn't pronounce that right, but they received a 2018 4th-round pick. So there you see it. And the Browns traded Carlos Hyde, although nobody thought that was a great deal getting him in the first place, right? And they get a 5th-round pick in exchange for that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that was part of the dysfunction, I think, of this organization, where the front office wanted to clear the path for Chubb, who wasn't getting enough carries under Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson.
In 2018, the Packers trade Ty Montgomery to the Ravens. They get a 2020 7th-round pick. How about that, a 7th-round pick? You have no idea where that's going to be in the draft because it's so far away. But the point is, teams rarely take running backs that high, and teams rarely trade for running backs that high.
Yeah, and the great running backs aren't made available via trade. So that was my biggest issue with this, is that he's a guy who, carried the ball only 40 times last year, but I think in all had over 650 yards between receiving and running from scrimmage, scored 3 touchdowns as a receiver. He's very valuable on 3rd downs, and I don't think you're going to get the right value back in a deal.
Why is it that the fans like him more than the
Because I think fans see him, for the longest time, now it's a little different, but for the longest time fans saw him as maybe one of 2 playmakers on offense, and he still wasn't getting the ball. His carries were a 4-year low last year.
He had one game where he had 9 touches.
Yeah, so I don't think he's, if Chubb and Hunt are sharing the load, he's not going to get very many carries. But I do think he's a really valuable 3rd down guy. And again, nobody's going to walk up to you and say, we'll give you a 2nd or 1st rounder for Duke Johnson right now. If they do, then I would consider that deal too.